The success mantra that I would follow is, I would say, two.
Okay.
Right. One is absolutely understanding and knowing your strengths and passions.
So hello and welcome guys, welcome to the new episode of Winners Talk. Where I promise you guys, I will bring the experts from all over the world to help you with your professions and business skills. So today we have with us Pradnya Punekar. Welcome, Pradnya.
Hi Nilesh, it's my pleasure to be on the Winners Talk today with you.
Yes. So guys, a brief introduction about Pradnya. Pradnya is a proud mother of two boys. She's a seasoned human resources professional. Experience of more than 12 years. Worked with the global corporates. She's also the winner of Mrs. India UK 2017. Very different career again. At the same time, she founded KATHA with the sole aim of celebrating the courage of women entrepreneurs. Running small scale businesses. And many of those stories are generally not in the media spotlight. So she does a very good job bringing these stories to the world. And I have read them. I found them very inspiring, and that is the reason I thought Pradnya is right person for us to help us, especially the women entrepreneurs, to help us how they can manage their careers. And as Pradnya has variety of different careers, how to manage their careers, how to manage their motherhood, house, again health and fitness. So let's get started. So welcome, Pradnya. Thank you once again for joining this Winners Talk.
Pleasure, Nilesh.
Okay. So Pradnya, tell me about yourself.
Right. Okay. I think you have pretty much covered in brief about me. But to begin with, I would like to begin going back to my childhood, baby, because we all love our childhood, isn't it? So going back to, and like you said, I have two young boys, so I'm pretty much still in the childhood phase apart from the careers that I deal with. So I have always been one of these girls who had big dreams, and I had various varieties of dreams in my mind, and always thought that how I would be able to achieve it, right? But obviously, growing up, I had a pretty much normal kind of upbringing or studies, I would say, like most of us all have. I did my master's degree in HR, and post that, I began my career as an HR professional. So that's like a pretty standard, pretty standard kind of a route, I would say, that I took in terms of my career. And obviously, because I was quite career oriented and quite determined, I got extremely amazing opportunities to work with some of the top corporates around the globe. I started off my career as an HR executive and started from HCL Technologies in Bangalore. Right. And post that, obviously, I worked with a lot of various IT organizations. I worked with Flipkart in India. And then obviously my latest assignment was with one of the top construction organization or project in London. It's called the Thames Typing. And I was working over there as a senior HR strategist. So, of course, having had the normal route, but yet again, like you said, going back to my childhood where I began from, I had various different kind of dreams, and I thought, why not? So Mrs. India UK happened to me in 2017, and well, I mean that was not the first time. I was winner of Miss Belgium 2000 rather.
Okay. Nice.
And so then I think the entire idea and reason behind that was, well, beauty pageant, glamour, and all one part of it, or one side aside. But when I was 18 years old, I had an extremely deep desire. I don't know how, but I had an extremely deep desire to do something for women very deeply.
Okay.
And that has always been there for me right since the age of 18 years. And like I said, ever since then, because it was such a normal route of, building a career, building a HR career, it was extremely rewarding, extremely fulfilling. I had some amazing friends, colleagues, build relationships. learned a lot along the journey. But Mrs. India UK, the entire idea of joining Mrs. India UK was that. And yes, because of the determination and hard work, I won the crown. And uh, thank you. That's where, a different switch to my career came into picture.
Mhm.
Now, I think post which, obviously, I got a lot of opportunities to work into different aspects of fashion industry, which was a different experience altogether. A lot of photo shoots, ramp walks, and all of that. Met amazing people from different fields. Wonderful experience. But yes, going back to the vision that I had to create something for women where they can start fulfilling their own dreams, right?
Mhm.
So when we talk about how women can build their dream career, right?
Right.
And a lot of times it seems impossible to us as women because we wear so many different hats, right? We have
Correct.
so uh, different responsibilities. So at a point in time, it seems impossible. But I think it's just about the courage to keep going. So that's when Mrs. India happened, and then obviously I have, like you said, I have recently started my own venture called Katha, and the vision of Katha is to celebrate the courage and the confidence of women who have come out of their comfort zone and started something of their own, basically women entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And it's a platform which will where we share inspiring stories of women entrepreneurs, where they can read each other's stories, look for collaborations, and in different ways how we can support and help small businesses grow and help their dreams fly bigger and bigger. So that's with that vision I have begun Katha very recently. Yeah, it has a long way to go, long journey to go.
And I have read that, it's not only women, but it's helpful for all others as well, because the journey, story, the way you narrate the stories, they're really, really good. I personally read it. I like the name Katha as well, so yeah, very good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. So that's one part of, I've also recently, very, very recently, when the Ganesh Chaturthi festival began, I've started a little small initiative for the young students because these two areas, apart from my passion for HR and working with people, doing something for women, which I had at a very early age,
Right.
that's one. And second, building a holistic younger generation is something which I am, envisioning.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay.
looking at the way the world is going, especially with the global pandemic, a lot of
Correct.
different changes are happening. The technology is just taking over us. A lot of aspects come into picture there, and I have envisioned to develop a holistic development for our younger generation. So with that intention in mind, I've started something called Pradnya Pathshala, where I share ancient knowledge for happy and healthy living.
Right, right.
uh, I have just finished my first batch, and it's been extremely satisfying and fulfilling experience.
Yes. So Pradnya, then, that brings me to the question. So how do you balance different careers, because it's a variety of careers, professional plus balancing your motherhood, Katha, the entrepreneurship venture. So what are the keys to balance, all of these?
It's madness. Nilesh.
That's, I guess you
I
should be bad. We say the passion, but yeah, we need passion to make that thing happen first, I guess.
Right, okay. Um, that kind of really reminds me, that, like I said, it's madness, right? So Steve Jobs had, in one of his quotes, but to be very honest, I don't remember the quote by quote, but he says the only people who can change this world are the ones who actually believe they can do it.
Right, 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 right.
So how do I balance all of these things? It begins with the mindset, the
Okay,
first,
very good.
right? So I think it's extremely important. I think over generations and generations, the way human evolution has happened, and
Right.
alongside human evolution, we have read seen a lot of movies, stories about, how women have also evolved and explored in their various roles that they have played, right?
Correct.
From being, the homemakers to, how they are venturing into their own, the kind of dreams that they have, venturing into coming out in their own personalities, right? It's been a
Correct.
long journey for all of us. Going back to, times of say 18th century or 17th century also, we do have women who were homemakers, but still they have been on the war field and have fought. So we have heard of all those women, but of course there were very limited of them. There were few of them.
Right.
So since those times, I think the journey of a woman of balancing a home and what she actually wants to do in terms of a career and her passion has evolved, right? So it begins with the mindset, like I said. So it's extremely important for we as today's women to change our own mindset first, instead of asking people to change their mindsets.
Okay, well said. Yes.
Right. So to give a very small example, when my eldest son was born, I took a conscious motherhood break, and
Okay.
it was by choice. And after that, when I went back to work, which was after 2 years, two and a half years, I did put it on LinkedIn on a very conscious note, saying I was on a motherhood break from this year to this year.
Right.
A lot of times when job seekers are looking out for you, they look for a gap and they wonder why the gap is there.
Correct.
Right? A lot of times we women ourselves, we look down upon motherhood breaks, and I question why. Because motherhood is such a beautiful journey for men and women both, right? It teaches us so much. It teaches us so many different aspects of life.
Correct.
Not just, I think those aspects we can add in our professional life. And that's something which we forget or we neglect. So,
Well said.
so I consciously did that, and I strongly believe it begins with that mindset. And after I did that, a lot of times when job seekers are different now, when I have started Katha, I interact with a lot of people, and obviously a lot of people go through my LinkedIn profile, and I have come across quite many people who have come back and said, Pradnya, that's very bold of you to have written motherhood break, because a lot of women don't write it, because we women ourselves look down upon motherhood. And I think that's something we should ourselves stop doing it, right? Because I strongly believe that motherhood and our careers are, while we want to compartmentalize it in our day-to-day operations, but I think we should all bring it together. We should embrace it. And I think only when we start doing that as women leaders is when people will start accepting it.
Exactly. Somebody has to lead.
Correct. So people will start looking at it differently. So that's the first thing that I would say. Change your mindset, in terms of how you look at your home, your motherhood, and your own, health and fitness, right? It's extremely important to, if I'm fit, mentally, physically, emotionally, will I be able to contribute 200%? Right? Right? It begins with the self journey first, and then everything comes. It's not the other way around. A lot of times we look at it the other way around, mindset, right? So where we say, oh, my job, my kids, my family, my home, and we all juggle that first, but we are not fixing ourselves first. But
Very true.
But I strongly believe that we will have to settle ourselves first, physically, mentally, emotionally first. If we do that, everything else just kind of, takes its own. Yes. So begin with that.
Very good. Yeah. Anything you want to add?
No. So that was the first point that I wanted to say. The second point obviously was clarity of thoughts, right? It's extremely important when you are, when we talk about balancing, it's extremely important to very clearly have your goals for professional and personal development, and, kind of prioritize it pretty well, so that you yourselves are very clear in your own mind, and you do not end up into disappointment, because it's not
Correct.
a journey of comparison with how somebody else is doing. It is about your own growth, your own journey, right? So I think that clarity of thought of setting your personal and professional goals at every stage of life, right, is very, very important. So I think that
No, very well said, Pradnya. But then, while you're balancing, at the same time, if you want to pivot your career, so how do you manage that then?
right. For that, the only I would definitely share what has worked for me, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, the first and the foremost thing I think every woman needs to do is, when you want to pivot your career, right, or change your career, right? When we talk about creating a dream career, right?
Right.
Reflection. Reflection is very important, right? Reflecting. I just want to share a very small instance with you in terms of why reflection, plays such an important role. And there was I think in 2016 is when, me and my family were out on a vacation. I think somewhere around a very quiet English village,
Okay.
and obviously we had a dinner and everything, and it was a beautiful riverside place. And I just went there, and I just grabbed a cup of tea or coffee in the night, and I was just sitting there. And obviously I'm extremely one of person who always reflects back in terms of
Uh,
how I've done, where I've come, what do I want to do next. Not in terms of really setting 1 2 3 goals, but just kind of giving it a good reflection. That's when, it took me back to that point, which I said, which I feel strongly. That moment, there is something, when you sit with yourself and start reflecting, uh, there are certain thoughts and ideas which come to your mind, right? And those are extremely important. Those are your
mm,
callings. And on those callings, they might sound, at that point in time, they might sound very crazy, they might sound impossible, but that's the calling that the universe has sent you here for. And I strongly believe in that. That's the purpose we all exist.
right.
And so that's when in 2016 it went me back to what I want to do, when I participated in Mrs. India 2017, and it all happened from there. So reflection is very important.
But that brings to me a question, Pradnya, like, as you said, reflection is important. But what happens in many like women, or many people as well, when they reflect, as you said, they stop themselves, think, it's a crazy idea, they wouldn't be able to do it, or there won't be
Correct.
anyone to help them out. So
Correct.
from reflection, how did you manage to still take the action on them? What sort of things you did?
So what are the actions I did was, first and foremost, so when that thought or idea or that thing that you feel very passionate about, you think, right? It might
Yes.
not be a part of your career, right? The very important thing that you really have to do is absolutely be extremely courageous to just go out, put a plan on paper, and
Correct.
just do it, right?
Right.
That's the first thing that you will have to do. Second, I think it's extremely important to, I'm sure we have few people in our life who help and support us, with our dreams. It's important to share your thoughts and ideas with them, so that you kind of start, visualizing it.
Right.
Right? When you start sharing it, when you start talking to people, when you start sharing it with different people, is when you start visualizing it. So first is,
Vision starts to materialize. Correct.
yeah. So first is putting the plan as to, right, so this is what I feel. How am I going to go about it? I would say what I have done, what has worked for me, as I have not put 5-year goals, 10-year goals, no. I have put literally 6 years to 1 year goals for that specific career or dream that I want to achieve. And then I put a plan around that period of time. Second, I started visualizing it. Literally,
Okay.
visualizing is very important. It's very hard. It's not easy to really visualize the way you want it. That's where the clarity of thought comes into picture, like I said before. And when you start talking to people, is when you actually the visualization starts happening.
Right. Okay.
Right?
So do you, while visualizing, do you like, let's say, meditate or close your eyes, start imagining, or
I
what
was,
is your method
yeah,
of visualization?
absolutely amazing question, Nilesh. And I really like that question, what you asked me. I was going to come to that point. You actually read my mind, I would say. What I have been doing, to be very honest, from the past 2-3 years, rather, from the time Mrs. India UK actually I won and it happened to me, which is
Right.
3 years now. I'm doing something called a morning ritual.
Very good.
Okay, and I would really strongly suggest that morning ritual is completely changes your life completely. So I
I
exercise.
100% agree on that.
So I exercise and I meditate, which really helps you to kind of bring in a lot of visualization, a lot of clarity of thought, a lot of balancing factor, I would say, uh,
Exactly.
to compartmentalize your life as well. Because from if I am to give you, I think that morning ritual really boosts you to
Exactly.
do everything that needs to be done to achieve that certain dream, right? You start connecting, because I strongly believe in a very higher connection which happens during that morning ritual,
Correct.
which starts giving you that energy to just keep going.
No, you're 100% right, Pradnya, because when I realize, what are the biggest change makers in our life? And the simplest thing is, like changing your morning routine is the one of them. Like you get up early in the morning before everybody. Like, that's what many people do, they wake up and they start their life. So you need to
Correct.
have some sort of time before you wake up and start, like after you wake up and starting your life for yourself, that till that is good for your own happiness, finding the real you, finding your focused, staying on track, extremely important, very true.
Yes, absolutely. So that's something which I have been doing, and I wonder why did I do it before? But well, there's a time for everything in life, and that reminds me, when I say there's a time for everything in life, be extremely patient. Be extremely patient and believe in your own capability. Don't rush
uh,
things,
Very true.
right? Don't.
There's no competition between somebody else and you, so
Exactly. So
you
when
and
I
you.
say, yes, so when I say, going back to my reminding myself, 8-year-old of me, I had so many dreams, but would I have achieved when I was 10-year-old? No. It took me about what? Look, it took me about 30 years or whatever to actually, be able to start, fulfilling those dreams. So it takes time. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of determination. And like I said, it takes a lot and lot more than hard work, determination, courage, and everything. More than anything else, it takes a lot of patience.
Right. So, Pradnya, if I have to ask you maybe one last question, that is uh, like, is there any success mantra or success motto or something like a sentence, something that you follow in your day-to-day life?
The success mantra that I would follow is, I would say, two,
Okay.
right? Um, One is absolutely understanding and knowing your strengths and passions. Okay, very important as to what your strengths are and what you're extremely passionate about. That's where reflection comes into picture.
Right.
And then from there on, the success, I mean, if I have to talk about the success mantra, believing in yourself. So when I say believe in
Correct.
yourself, understand your strengths, understand your passions, and be extremely committed and dedicated to do all the hard work that it takes,
Right.
right? So there are 3 C's I follow,
Okay.
Nilesh, when I talk about that. So one is the courage.
Okay.
The second is the conviction.
Okay. Good.
Okay. The third is the commitment.
Okay. Good. Courage, conviction, and commitment. Yes.
Yes. So that's where everything begins for me, from those 3 C's in my life, Nilesh. Okay. The second, and when I talk about the 3 C's, it all falls down into believing in yourself, right? Believing in yourself into those 3 C's that I follow. The second, I would say, is just leave a little space for this, for the universe to play some magic for you.
Okay.
I think that's my second mantra of success. We all have big dreams, big plans. We put them on paper, big 5-year plan, Excel sheets, matrices, profits and goals. All said and done, all logical things, absolutely acceptable, agreeable, and it's extremely required. But leave that 1% for the universe to play a magic for you, and believe in that. And that's where that's where you need to start actioning things when there is uncertainty, when there is things are not going in as per you have planned. There's a reason for
Right.
it. There's a reason for it. So do not get anxious, stressed, worried when all these things happen, because there's a little bit of magic the universe is playing with you. And when you give that magic a little bit of space, be
Uh,
patient with what the universe has in plan for you, and start actioning in that order, bigger things happen.
right. Pradnya, I think it's rightly said. It's a very good philosophical analogy. I'll say, like giving universe the time, because when something bad starts to happen, people panic, and they get stressed, and they start blaming others and blaming universe. But maybe, as you rightly said, there might be some bigger thing waiting to happen. So just give
Yes.
to yourself and the universe,
Yes.
chance or the space for the magic to happen.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, Pradnya, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful. I learned so many things. I'm sure all the viewers as well. It's Worldwide Indians Network. So, thank you so much. So, guys, those who joined this week's winners talk, I'm sure you'll have got lots and lots of information from Pradnya. How to be courageous. How to start your morning routine or change your morning routine if you don't have any, and give universe the chance to bring some magic to you. So Pradnya, thank you once again. Thank you so much for joining.
It was my pleasure, Nilesh, and I really, really love talking. I think the best thing that I would say again, this interview and talk has made me reflect so much. These are my reflection. This is how I, sometimes reflect, not just by sitting alone, but also when I'm with people. It gives me so much of reflection.
Right.
And
Oh, very good.
yeah, so thank you so much. People like you and so many others have really, really helped, supported me, and I think that's something. Before we finish the interview, that's something which I would really, really like to add to everybody, all the women, all the people that who want to
Exactly.
achieve big, and is like the lot of your friends, your family support. They really support you or not, and I think that support, cherish and nourish that support, because that will really keep you going. And that's something which I do. So people like you have supported me, helped me grow, and that's all I need in life.
Thank you so much, Pradnya. So guys, those who joined the interview, hope you have a lot of information, lots of wisdom from Pradnya. If you have any friends and family who you think should be part of this network, please share this interview with them. Ask them to join this Worldwide Indians Network. So as I said, like we Indians are smart and we are spread worldwide. The only purpose of this community was to connect, collaborate, and cultivate the professional business skills. And as I said, I will bring you the experts. So Pradnya is one of those people who is expert in her field. So I hope you enjoyed the interview. And Pradnya, thank you so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you once again.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.